Okay, so today I'll be teaching you how to make perks. Now, there are two types of perks. We've got the level up perk, and then we have sort of perks given either like through quests or through companions, things like that. They practically work the same, just how they are given is slightly different. So, say for instance we open up the Psycho perk, we're going to create our own. I'm going to call this one a Pirate perk. We're going to call this one, let's just say for instance, just call it Scallywags Swing, something like that. Now we have three checkboxes here. We've got trait. I think this is only used in the Elder Scrolls, so don't worry about that. Playable, you want to check that so it just remains active. And hidden, this is whether you want to hide it or not. So here we had the Psycho perks. Every time you do Psycho, they want to hide it so it doesn't appear in your Pip-Boy, because if it does, then you're sort of wondering why is it a perk. So that's just their little trick of making drugs in this game. So anyway, level. If you don't want it to be a leveled thing, so when you level up, you have to be a certain level to unlock it. Don't worry about it. But since this is a perk given from our companion here, obviously we'll be doing perks from level up perks, so I'll show you those afterwards. For now we'll just leave that 0 and 1. Number of ranks, so say for instance Swift Learner, that has 3 ranks, this one just has 1. Now this one will improve your melee damage. Now conditions you can leave blank. On Windows 10 and I believe Windows 8, sometimes these little windows tend to cramp up. The quick fix for that is just to drag them across, but obviously there are no need for conditions here since it's only going to be given and taken away through dialogue. Let's open this up here. Now, by default, if you went to new instead, I think it'll be on quest. Simply move down to either ability, so this will give you an ability, or you can go to entry point, this works as well. And say for instance, and it's also worth pointing out that the difference between ability and the entry point is that the ability sort of has like all the upgrades, like the strength bobblehead or something like that, whereas the entry point has things like damage multipliers, speed multipliers, barter multipliers, things like that. So currently I'm trying to decide what to go for, excuse me here, but I think I do end up selecting attack speed. In fact, let's just go for attack speed, just for now. Absolute value. I want to go to multiply actually. Let's just double it, why not? So the attack speed will now be multiplied by 2. So if they can only get 10 hits per second, they can now get 20, something along those lines. And just hit OK. And that's pretty much it. So we now have the, oh sorry, I just realised I actually created that for Pirate YouTube perk. And now we can hit OK. Yes. To for a companion or an NPC to give you this, generally we'll have to activate it through dialogue. So if I go to all these here, and we go to topics, and then follower hired. At least in this case, you don't have to do it in this. If you have a certain thing where it will give you perks, say for instance when you complete a quest, just simply slap it in here. So I'm going to go to create a line just here, and then we're going to go to player.add perk. What do we call it now? Pirate YouTube perk. And now the perk will be added. Now normally you get a little message. I'll show you in the next tutorial how to work with messages, but it'll basically be like show message and then my message name. But obviously we don't have a message for now, but just so the player knows, they'll obviously get a message so they know that they've got the perk. So at the moment it won't tell you you've got the perk unless if you look at the GECK, but it will be active. And hit compile on that. Okay, and then when they're fired, you just want to remove the perk. So let's go to player.remove perk, Pirate YouTube perk, and there we go. Simple, compile, done. So that's pretty much it for the companion given perks. Now, just as a little quick tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to create a leveled perk. So say for instance, just double click on Black Widow for instance. You can see here you've got to be level 2, it's a playable. And down here, the weapon damage will be multiplied by 1.1, and the target probably is one of the get male targets, I believe. Yeah, get is sex. Okay, brilliant. So let's just create a new one real quick. We're going to call this one YouTube damage intensify. So it just increases the damage. Just call it no, in fact, let's just call it more damage. Something very basic. Level 6. There's 1 rank. You can set it to 2 ranks. In fact, I'll show you how to do this now. And we'll just put here does more damage. You can get obviously very descriptive. I'm not going to. And I'll tell you what, we'll just use this one as a base, but I'll get rid of the target just because we want it to apply to everything. And hit delete. And there we go. So this is rank 1. Now for the second rank, so if you select it a second time, we're going to go to rank 2. And we're just going to fill it all in. So we want to go to entry point, calculate weapon damage, and it'll be a multiply. Then we're going to put 1.2 and hit OK. So there we go. So on the first rank, we'll do 1.1 times damage. So a bullet that does 100 damage now does 110. A bullet that does 100 damage now does 120. So that's the basic. Obviously, you can pick your icon, make it more unique, hit OK, and yes. And now when you boot into the game, you will see that perk when you go to level up. So I'm not going to show it simply because, you know, I've got to grind for XP and stuff, but I promise you it does work. So I hope this was clear. If not, just leave a comment. I'll try to explain a couple of things to you if you need help. And that's it. Goodbye.